Hi guys, welcome to the latest YarninBlak podcast. Today I've got Rhys from Korumburra Secondary College, who is the school captain. Rhys, how are you?
Thanks. Hello, everyone. Hi, I'm Rhys. I'm good. How are you? How's it going?
Good. Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you? Who's your mob?
Oh, well, I was born in Brisbane on Yagira country, and then I got adopted out to cattle stations out on Inangai land. So Longreach, Winton, sort of dinosaur trail, dinosaur path. So yeah, I lived up there for a bit, and yeah, so I got adopted into an Indigenous family. My dad is a Kalkadoon man, so from Korumburra, Mount Isa. So yeah, I identify with that just because it's just who I know, what I know. And yeah, it's nice for me.
So how did you end up in Victoria?
Good question. So when I was 8, my family decided, it's time to move. So we ended up moving to Bendigo up in the goldfields of Victoria. And I stayed there for about 6 years. And then we went on a trip around, like a little family holiday around Australia. We did like a good old caravanning trip. And then one of my brothers, I have 4 older brothers, and one of them and his partner, they had a child. And we thought, well, you want to be here for this child's life. So it'll be dad's grandchild, my mum and dad's grandchild. So we thought it'd be, best to come be part of that world. So that's why we moved to Korumburra from Bendigo.
So what grade were you when you got to the school?
Year 9. I started here in midway year 9. That was very fun. It was very different because the environment is very different here from what I was used to. It's very wet. It's very luscious and green. And I grew up in the Outback and then in like a flat gold field. So it was very earthy, very amazing to really actually see all that can be grown here, all that grows here, all that will change. Yeah, it's so cool.
Yeah. And so congratulations on becoming the school captain.
Oh, thank you.
So what was the process of becoming school captain?
It was a lot simpler than I actually thought it was going to be. I was really stressed, but it was just so the teachers, the staff put out a notice on our home news, like a little website we've got called Compass, and they put a little notification up there to say 2023 school captain applications. Please, visit the office to fill in the paperwork. So yeah, I did that. So I got the paperwork, and it was just a sheet, explaining what to do, and then giving another sheet about what to fill in. It had questions such as like, why should you be leader? What have you achieved? Yeah, but yeah, it was really good. So yeah, there was a few of us that ran for it, and then everyone else just decided to drop out all of a sudden. So then there were just 2 candidates left, and we were just like, oh wow, okay. So yeah, we were supposed to have 4, but we ended up with 2. So it was very, like that. So then the school opened up the applications to year 11. So this year's year 11. So yeah, we have a vice captain from year 11, which I think is very different, unique for our school. It's new. We haven't done it before. So yeah, it's very cool to do. Yeah.
So what did you feel when they told you you'd got the school captainship?
Oh, I was like, wow, okay. I didn't actually expect it. I was like, I see a lot of, leadership essentials in my classmates. I was like, wow, I feel like you're really strong here, and, you're very outgoing. Oh, I kind of like compared myself to them a lot. I was like, oh, I might not get this. And I was like, I compared myself here, obviously, not being able to get it. But I was just like, wow, okay. Wow. So then, I kind of got into action. I was like, okay. So I talked to Amber, my co-captain, and we're like, okay, let's get into it. Let's kick some butt. Yeah. So we're like, okay, let's plan it out and let's go. So yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, cool.
It's just like, wow, just adrenaline.
Have you kicked some butt already?
We've tried. It was a bit of a slow start, just because, yeah, it was just Amber and I elected at first, and then there's just the 2 of us, and then they opened it up for the upcoming year level. So they were kind of just like, oh, okay, well, what are the 2 of us going to achieve together? So we made wrote some things down in a book. We sat together and we wrote some things out in a book, and we're like, what do we want to see this year? What do we want to change? So we had lots of things on pride. So during June this month, we've made a lot of pride awareness around our school. We had an assembly. We had a free dress day where we base it around drag and dress up and makeup. And yeah, that's pretty fun. Sadly, not many students really got involved, but that's just maybe we just needed, extra force, a bit more push. But yeah, it was a little bit like, I really had a lot of what's the word? Expectations, like high expectations on it, and it kind of didn't really go exactly as we wanted it to go. But it was still people were there for it, and that was really nice. That was what we really wanted.
Do you think it raised awareness?
Sorry.
Do you think?
Pardon?
Do you think it raised awareness?
Oh yeah, it did raise awareness. Yeah, because the week before, we also had for the Art Hobbit Day, we had this little stall in the middle of our school, in the middle of the school courtyard, and it was covered in purple and rainbows. We even decorated the courtyard trees with like rainbow ribbons in order to raise awareness for it. We're giving out stickers, badges and lanyards. So yeah, we really raised awareness for the first half, but not many people followed through, sadly, in the second half. But that's okay. Yeah.
Do you think, what were some of the reasons maybe they didn't want to participate?
I honestly, that's what we're trying to work out. I just think, they were just too busy. They'd rather run around at, playtime than, stand up and support other people and their lives. But I don't know, maybe they are kids, like we're still children, ready to have fun and play around. But when they'll be ready, when they're ready to, support and open up. It'd be great if they did it a little earlier, obviously with their friends, I recognize this about you. I wish, I don't want to be horrible about you, and I will stop other people being horrible to you. I really wanted to see that. And yeah.
How does your school work with diversity?
I'm really well, actually. I'm really well, actually. I remember we had this whole like rainbow hallway at one point, all these posters. With the new building, it's changed a bit now, but yeah, no, it's really, really good. They're open. We've got a diversity club at our school, run by one of the senior teachers. So we've got a little committee group, and we just decide, we work out how we want how we want the school to show diversity. So we've got at the moment just a couple of students. They're mainly from the senior years. We haven't really engaged enough with the younger years, or the younger years haven't really felt like they wanted to do it, which is a little bit disappointing, disheartening, but that's okay, because we are trying to build it for them, because they've got to carry on with the school. Yeah. But so we've done we've made little stickers for around our town to put them on our local businesses to show that this is a safe place from domestic violence, racism, homophobia, all those fabulous things.
Yeah.
But so we've got those in the plans. We're working on also having I think there's a little rap program for our school, like the Indigenous rap program for our school, because I think ours is a little bit outdated, or trying to keep it modern and current. But yeah, we have I forgot the word was for students with disabilities. Like that soundproof room, this little sensory space. There we go, sensory space for the students in the room. But yeah, no, it is a diverse place. It caters for a lot of opportunities, outdoor aid opportunities, sporting, cooking. It's pretty good place. Yeah.
If you were to recommend it to other students in the future, other kids that wanted to come to your school, how would you sell your school?
Well, the first thing I would sell for my school is like the environment. It's got like 3 ovals. That's pretty impressive. I've never been to a school with 3 ovals before, but it's got 3. Then you've got the land that it's on. Then I'd go, secondly, the outdoor ed education system. Like I did that in year 9 and 10. I really, really loved it, because it's got so many opportunities. You've got the beach not too far away, Wilson's prom, snow, Mountain Board is not too far away. You're in a really great location to do a lot of things with the environment. The local community too, we're really involved with the community. The Lions Club does a lot of funding. We work with the Lions Club. I know the younger students, I think, like Minds and advanced class, they work within the community to do Meals on Wheels, helping the old people's home, like Krinia. They just go around volunteering at the library, all the fun things. It's always really good. But yeah, and the local businesses will, come and support the school for a day sometimes. Yeah, it's really good to see that, you get citizens from the town donating books to the library. and whatnot. If they pass the code, and yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. How does the how many Aboriginal kids are at the school?
I don't actually know, but we've got a yarning circle group, and a few kids will show up to that. Under around 10, just under 10. But I think there are more who just are scared to identify. I think that's an issue here. I think they've always just been a little scared to identify as Aboriginal out of fear of like being targeted. But yeah, we see some come and go pretty quickly, and it's pretty disappointing. But that's their choice, and yeah, there's definitely quite a few.
Yeah,
even if they're hidden.
Have you ever been targeted? Have you ever been targeted yourself?
Oh yeah, sadly, yeah, yeah. Can be a bit like, oh, that's fun. Yeah, yeah. There's definitely been a couple of times. I remember my most recent time was I was out shopping with friends, and we went into the video game store, JB Hi-Fi, and I was behind a group of other teenagers, white teenagers. I'm going to say white teenage boys that were, in their baggy clothes, and they had their backpacks on, and then they were, in the JB Hi-Fi with like video games and movies, and when they walked out, they got to like go free. But old mate was like, "You're going to come here. I'm going to check your bags, like please." But like, there was a big group of them. They all had bags, and they did not get stopped. And I felt like, well, there's a little bit something here, and he wasn't the nicest guy. He was a little bit dodgy, I felt. But maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm a horrible person. But no, I did notice that when you check them, there's definitely a more obvious like chance of them stealing something pretty valuable, because there's lots of them. Yeah, but that was one time that was maybe just a simple sometimes people are really creepy about it too. I was walking to work one day, and this man, he was, I know people are just really weird about it sometimes, like, "Oh, are you Indigenous? Oh, I love that for you." I remember just really scary, in like they do it in a really scary way. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird about it, but they do it in a really scary way. But yeah, it's all good. That's what they connect with. That's how they connect to us, I guess. And I guess, okay, that's that then. Yeah, it's just really scary sometimes, because they're really like dead set on, "Oh, you're Aboriginal." It's like, whoa, yeah, thank you. It's very scary.
Yeah. How do you define leadership?
Honestly, I kind of see it as like a guidance. I feel as like an assisted guidance in a way, because people are entitled to make their own decisions. But I feel like with some leadership, people might change their choices and follow a different path that may not be, selfish, or may help other people more beneficial, I see, in a way. Yeah, I definitely see it as like a guidance of a sort, where, a group of people or a person may affect or may guide someone to a different path, whether it be positive or negative. Still leadership, you're still leading someone in a way. But yeah, it's still guidance. And I think that's how I do leadership. I try and guide people to different, more open-minded perspectives of, of our world. Culture, yeah.
We know that leadership isn't just about being up the front. Sometimes it's
it is very, I have to do things behind. What I do is, people always litter. I'm always, down the street at town, there's a bit of litter, and you're just like, oh, come on, just put it in the bin. It's right there. But yeah, sometimes if you're not going to get recognized for it, but you just have to pick it up and get on with the day, because it's not gonna just magically float back into the bin. But no, someone has to do it.
So what subjects are you doing this year?
This year I'm doing math methods, chemistry, English language, studio art, exhibiting and making, and visual communication and design.
Cool. What do you want to do after school?
Preferably sleep. I'm asleep for quite a while. No, I'd love to. I'm going to apply to a uni, then defer. I'm going to take a gap year. I'd love to travel. I love Australia, but I want to see other parts of the world too. Other different, architecture.
Where would you go?
Oh, I want to do like the big trip across the big continent. I want to, start maybe around Europe, and then move to Asia. Maybe try Africa for a bit. North America. I love to go to North and South America. They seem really, really cool. Very different, very old and ancient, and scary, like historic and stuff. I really love that. Yeah, I think it's just, I hear so much about it. We see a lot of it on TV and media and songs. And I just want to see what those parts of the world are like. I feel like I lived here. I know here. I'm familiar with here. I want to expand myself a bit more, understand why other people, why the country has formed, or what land changes, what political movements they've made to, land where they are today. Yeah, I think that's really interesting for me.
Yeah, cool. Do you have any role models?
Honestly, my parents. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be that person, say my parents. But my parents. My dad is a hard worker. Always has something to do. Will always work to make sure our family is well provided for, cared for. Yes, and my mother also works really hard. I feel like sometimes you do underappreciate her. I always feel bad and guilty about that. But my parents are hardworking people, and we look like morally right. I don't know. I feel like they're like actually like good, genuine people. They're good people. That's why I feel attracted to. Also, my friends in a way.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just, I don't know, people that are grounding, balance. They are respectful too. We may have different opinions, but that doesn't cause this massive blowout drama. It's just, okay, you're right. I see that now. You've opened my eyes to this. Have I opened your eyes to, understand my point of view? It's really good to be surrounded by, that's by people who are respectful. And I feel like that's really something that's helped me grow, and I feel really appreciated by it. Yeah, those are my role models.
Yeah. How do you demonstrate yourself as a role model for other kids at the school?
I just be myself. I'm going to be honest. I just be myself. I feel like that is, if you own yourself, then if you know yourself, then you can move forward in a way. If you're comfortable with who you are, know who you are and what you like and what you want to be, just go for it. I guess nothing can hold you back then. Unless, if you just go for it. So I lead just being myself. If I'm going to say hi to you, I'll say hi to you. If I'm going to pick up rubbish, I'm going to pick up rubbish. I'm going to read a book at lunchtime by myself, and I'll read a book at lunchtime by myself. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, at the canteen, some kids don't even use their manners. I'm like, well, okay. Maybe that's a choice to make. Maybe say, hello, Kate, how are you today? Or how's it going? Or may I please have a good day? That's what I do, but hope, it works for everyone else too. So yeah, I try to just subtle things, just being myself, being nice, and, going forwards with that.
How would you define Rhys in 5 words?
Oh, that is the question. That is a question. Gonna be honest, one of them is unorganized.
Cool.
I'm very, very unorganized. Sorry, might take a lot longer than you thought.
Right.
Unique, different and unique, just different. Energetic. I don't know, I normally bring a lot of energy. My friends say I need to calm down a lot because I'm always bouncing and buzzing. Yeah. And pretty quick. I don't really stop. I don't really stop. I'm always going and talking and really messing up and stuttering a little bit. Yeah. And just me. I don't know. There's no really way to really go for it. I'm just there. I may have good days, bad days, but I'm still me. Guess I'm here. I'm present. Maybe present is the word for that. Maybe. There we go. It's 5.
What do you like doing outside of school?
Oh, good question. I do enjoy working. If that's surprising. I love my job. I work in a little cafe in town, and I think that's another way for me to connect with people. I really love connecting with different people when they're nice. Yeah, sometimes when they're a little bit, where's my coffee? Where's my food? It can be a little just a sec, sorry. But yeah, no. I do love my job. I love working. So, another way meet more people in my community, people outside of my community, pass through. I also enjoy nature, walking. Sometimes I'll just walk around, just doing nothing, just thinking to myself, just walking down a hill. I do like walking, hiking. Reading. I love reading. I read whatever all the time. It's really, really nice. I think it's just another way to kind of escapism in a way. I'm not escaping for anything bad. I just think another chance, another experience, just kind of less real. Depends on what I'm reading, fiction or non-fiction. But I think it's still really, really fun. Obviously, it's my brain working. And just being with my friends. I do love a good party every now and then. It's always fun to be with my friends. Get all dressed up, hair, makeup, fun clothes, spending time. Yeah. And then, we get to sit around. We sit around, watch Barbie movies in the morning, and eat hash browns. It's a very random thing that we do, but yeah, it's quite fun, and it's just really nice to feel that. It's just that's what I like to do. Yeah, and I feel like the things I do, create that feeling that I like. That's why I really do them. Yeah, I don't really play a lot of sport. I don't. I used to do ballet and gymnastics, but I don't anymore because I just didn't click with me anymore. I didn't feel love or appreciation from them. I didn't feel validation in them anymore, so I just did give them up. But that's okay. I will surely try and find something for myself in the future.
Yep. Are you thinking about any career in the future?
There's a few. There's a few. In my lovely unorganized self, I've made a whole array of different fun things. There's teaching. Teaching is always fun. Comes with leadership, I guess, and education. Teaching how to change, ways to change if you want to change. But I like the idea of teaching. I've got fashion design, anthropology, history. There's a very rounded mix of things. Science and a couple of chemistry, biology. There's a good little thought ticker. But yeah, it's quite. I just love learning. I love learning. I love school because I get to learn lots. I don't like doing the work, but I love learning. It's very good. Yeah, I love learning new things. Yeah, like how do things work? Why?
Maybe you can mix some of it together and do fashion for the anthropology.
Yeah, no. I think they connect because the history, the culture of clothes. How do they make them? How do they get those amazing little designs? Crowns, tiaras, shoes, history of shoes. Yeah, it's always so weird to think about how evolution of things. So that's why kind of like they may not look like they don't join, but in a way, there's always something that always goes together very well.
I've got a good question here. How much Aboriginal history have you learned at school?
Fabulous question. I'd say on the scale of little to none. It's a little bit disappointing. Actually, it's not a little bit. It's a lot disappointing because there's, it's our country, it's our land that we've got to learn about how to care for. Sorry, I'm all good, but so the bell's going. I don't know if you hear our school bells going, but I remember in junior school, it's you get the whole invasion, the first fleet. Yeah, you get how Australia was discovered. But I feel like there's more to it than that. I feel like that's one side of the story. I feel like we should probably learn more about different areas, different country lands, tribes, or groups. Ways of living. How to care for land in a way. Also, Indigenous icons. I feel like that would be something really. Albert Nabajira, Hemingway. All those actually things that actually are important to more than just one part of Australia. I think it'd be, I'm going to be honest, it could be really easy to put into the school system. I don't know why. I just feel like the system, could work a little better. I feel like maybe ways that it could be so easily implemented, different areas, different ways of thinking. It's just really different. Yeah, it'd be really, I just kind of disappointed because we really just learned about First Fleet and that's all we were ever brought up. Like First Fleet found the Aborigines. Yeah. Wow. So, whoa. Yeah, I thought that was really disappointing because I wanted representation. I wanted to be seen, and I was really disappointed because I wasn't. I was like, wow, this is cool. You guys, this is how you're here. This is how we're all here. You're in the gold rush. I feel like, there's lots. It's always at the same time there's none. It's very, very crazy different ends.
How in the future, if you've got a partner or even if you had kids in the future, what parts of Aboriginality would you want to teach them?
Definitely different land groups, definitely environment, definitely the environment, how to survive off of the environment, how to sustainability from the environment. I think that would be definitely the most important thing. Also, not being racist. I think I'd probably start around that too. I'd be like, so this is who you are. This is who everyone else is. Let's respect that and respect yourself. I feel like definitely getting there. I feel like, I'd love to see teach them. I don't even know if I want kids, to be honest. I haven't really planned that far ahead in my life. But yeah, I just think that I definitely teach them, land tribes, where they're from, why, how, how we are, how we got to where we are today. So that's a bit of a mouth jumble to spit out, but yeah, how we got to where we were today. How to fend for yourself in the environment, how to, sustain and look after the environment. Because I feel like these attributes can also come through in other parts of your life. Like if this is how you're going to, if this is where you came from, this is going to see where you're going to go. Like you can, see where you're going to go. You can change that. What's that famous saying everyone says? He who does not learn from history is doomed to repeat it, or something. Yeah, something like that. I feel like you can really use that nowadays. I feel like if I was ever to have kids or a partner, I would definitely teach them, how to learn from the environment, how to learn from the land, and how to use that to push the land.
How do you define Aboriginality?
Is there one way to define it? So many groups. It's just there's no one way to define it. I don't think. You just who you are. I guess. I guess so. That sounds cheesy, but I don't know. I've never really gone, wow, I'm black. Therefore I must be this Aboriginal person from this specific point in time. No, I've just the color of my skin is just the color of my skin, and I'm Aboriginal because that's who I am. I was born on this land, and this is my history, this is my culture, this is just what I know, who I am. That makes me Aboriginal, and that makes me Aboriginal, but I just know and feel that I am Aboriginal. I was told to be, it's who I am. I guess that kind of contradicts what I said, but no, I just know that I have that feeling, that connection. And that's just what I do and who I am.
Yeah. Do you think there's still a lot of stereotypes about Aboriginal people out there?
Oh, yes. Yes. The ever famous petrol sniffer is always a horrible one. Always. Oh, yeah. There's that, grub muncher. It's just, I don't understand where that even came from. Wow. People were so insecure about themselves. They just had to attack everyone else, didn't they? No, really, it's so hard to really fathom, like, why in today's every I guess every year in the past has gone modern era, but is it really are we really in modern era? I feel like it could just stop. I don't know, why was that necessary? So much stereotypes, I'm expected to ride a kangaroo to school, throw a boomerang just to announce that I'm in the room. I really, really don't understand. I exist. I remember one time, I'm not going to name any names, but I was at getting a haircut at a hairdresser's, and the person cutting my hair was like, oh, you speak good English for a black person. I was like, whoa, thank you. I was really, really pleased with that. I was like, oh, stop it, you. Wow. Go me. I just was like, wow, really? That just seems kind of out of place because I've been speaking English the entire time I've had this interaction with you. I just thought, wow, okay. I just don't understand what.
Did you learn it on the way down from the Northern Territory that day for the haircut?
Oh, yes. I just stopped, rode my kangaroo all the way down here. I was like, get my little book out and just finger point and read. Oh my God, it was just wow. I didn't want to be like, I didn't say anything. I was like, I said, yeah, as I sat there and tried not to move as she's clipping near my ears. But yeah, it was scary. I was like, went home and told my parents. I just did like the whole sort of like, yeah, it was just very, it's like, it's very embarrassing, but not for me, but for them. It was, why would you say that? I just like, it's like that whole, so you're Aboriginal. It's just all that thing over and over again. Like, yes. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Is it hard for people to accept? Are we like a myth? Are we a legend? I mean, pretty legendary, but damn. Yeah, it was very strange.
Yeah. Now, if I could make you Prime Minister for the day and I gave you a big bucket load of money, what would you
want to do in
Aboriginal affairs?
Aboriginal affairs. Let's see. Um, I don't know. I don't know much about the government, but I know the Prime Minister doesn't have a say in the education system. So that'd be the thing I wanted to change most.
Yeah.
Would definitely first number would be education system. I feel like, if you have a good education can get you so far. Basically, any education can get you far. Really, really, I feel like the more you know, the more you know. It'd be really, really good to, just education first. I did a bit of research. I would like to see a little bit more of those IPAs, the Indigenous Protected Areas. I feel like they could become a bit more mainstream. I did see there was a lot of money already going into them, but I feel like that could have been not like, I feel like it could have been used a little bit better. Not in like how do I say this without sounding like an asshole? Sorry. But like, I just could have been used, or maybe brought to our attentions more, like made more prominent in news and media, because they're really clever. They're really good ideas. They're really good for our environment. I think they're definitely like a must have for the future. I feel like I can also invest a lot in Indigenous owned businesses. I feel like that is a good way to start really promote that. I feel like we could, lessen a bit of international trading, work more on local products and more specifically Indigenous made products from the environment that are sustainable, artwork, machinery. It's always, I feel like that could be a better starting point for a different future. Yeah, that'd be a pretty good place to start. Yeah, that's really it. I did write a bit down, but that's really it.
That's good. That's good. What do you hope to have changed in the future? So in 10 years' time, how would you like the environment to be? And that's open to interpretation, whatever you like.
Oh, awesome. Great. Might be a bit of a long chat. Socially, I feel like I want like less of like a stigma, I think the word is. Like, I don't really know if I'm using that right, but less of like, oh, whoa, an Indigenous person. I want more like, oh, hey, oh, cool. So can I get a coffee? Like see you around, I guess. Like just like a casual interaction where it's not like, oh, you're black. It's very, very much like that. And I want to see that's for the social environment, but for like a physical outdoor environment, I do want to see, a better care. I would love, might sound a bit horrible in a way, but I would like to get rid of some invasive species. I feel like that was an error. Yeah, definitely invaded our environment that way. I love blackberries and foxes. They were really, really great for us in a way. But no, I would love that. I don't want to sound like horrible, like say kill all animals, but I would like maybe lessened or less horrible damages caused by these species. I'm being really optimistic here, aren't I? I think also more protected areas or more sustainable farming practices, I feel would be a really, really good, smart way to go. Like permaculture, I feel like that'd be really clever to incorporate, like really good sustainable practices where everything is utilized, like, tank water, like every building, and, the tanks are, good, sustainable. A lot of plastic gone. Hate plastic. Like it's so bad. I use it, but it's really bad. We don't use cling wrap or like that cling foil stuff in our houses. Not allowed. It's just so yucky. I'd also love our oceans to be better protected. I feel like that is just really disappointing. Especially that whale story this morning. I feel like that was something that was just not, maybe very uncomfortable. Yeah, I just feel like all that mining, all that land destroyed. What are we doing with it? I know we're getting things to survive, but are we surviving? Are we living? And how do we like continue that? Do we plan over it? What do we do with it now? It's an empty hole in the ground. You've used it, and now it's just there. How do you use it and abused it? Really, just blown it all up and taken it, and now it's chilling as a hole in the ground. So that's what I'd like to see. I know that in reality, these are things that we have to use to survive, or what we are choosing to use to survive, and nothing has really made its way prominently enough to support a very, very rapidly growing nation from stretching its little feathers. But yeah, disappointing, but at the same time, kind of inspiring. You know, it inspires you to make a change, to see what you want to see. You know, it is, you know, in a way, optimism. Yeah.
What Aboriginal traditions or beliefs do you think we could possibly bring back into the mainstream that would actually help the environment or life in general?
Just that, like, that's spiritually, everything has like a spirit, everything is another being, another entity, everything has or had a life. I feel like that should really get people to cherish things more. Like, say, your friend the tree just got, you know, absolutely butchered and cut down. You know, I feel like if you had better respect for these things that, you know, these inanimate objects that don't have life, you know, those rocks on the ground, you know, well, what do those rocks do? What could you use out of these rocks? Could you build something to shelter something else? Could you use it to support something else? I know, build a shelter for a little wombat or something. I don't really know. But I think having that belief that everything has a life, everything has a spirit or is a spirit, should be really, really valued a bit more within life. You know, that energy that things have, that, you know, provide that feeling, provide that feeling of, yeah, of physical intimacy, body sort of thing, you know, that weird connection. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. You talked about growing up, like in a remote. Do you really think that most Australians know what remote really looks like?
It's actually a fabulous question. It's so funny. Like, yeah, it is funny. It's weird. It's such a weird feeling. Okay, I'm gonna be, so we lived like 100 Ks from like little bits of each town. We had like maybe 60 Ks to one side, to like this little remote little village area, and then we had like 100 Ks to like the bigger town, the more, you know, the high school and everything. And that was really interesting. But it was also really, really flat land too. It was like, just, you could see forever and ever and ever. But yeah, it was space. It was actual remote space. We also lived on like a small property. So we had 50,000 acres, but that was a small, tiny little property compared to everything else around us. And it was just like, it was like freedom. It was amazing. Obviously, you know, it's a lot of work in maintaining it and the life that goes on there, you know, for people, animals, and the, you know, trees and environment. Yeah, when there were ones, were trees. But yeah, it was a cattle station. But yeah, there was, it's just, that's space. That's how I know space and, you know, room. That's how I, yeah. But then we moved into Bendigo, and that was like it's a regional city, and we lived, it was different. The houses were different, very Victorian style houses, of course, not like the good old Queenslander, but it was very cold. You know, the Outback can be cold at night, but it was winter. I've never seen a real winter before, of like constant fog and frost. Frost was so cool. But other people's space issues were a problem. It was so weird. They just had to be stuck to you all the time. I feel like I've kind of developed that now, that need to be around everyone else, just because I felt so out of place with it. I've had to like kind of like force myself to make myself clingy to other people. It's just so weird. Just yeah, everyone. And then we moved down here to Korumburra, and yes, it's like a small regional town, but every other small regional town is like 5 kilometers away. It's so weird. Like, it's little pockets of villages just here and here and here. It's just like, whoa. Like, it's like, and every area has its own name. Like, we've got Korumburra, and then you've got Korumburra South, and it's like, what, 2 kilometers away? And then from there, you've got like the next town. It's just like every little bit of land has to have its own individual unique name. It's just kind of scary. Like, I understand, yeah, but like, it just feels weird. You know, you've got the village just up there, and it's like, what, 5 Ks away? But like, if you act like it's a completely different part of the world, well, it's really just over the hill. It's so weird to me. I never really understood it. But the people in Korumburra are also a lot closer than even in Bendigo. I've just noticed that people are really close. It's quite, I remember at work, I was taking someone's order, and I, you know, gave them a menu. Our menu's just on a chalkboard, and I gave them a menu and set it down where they could see it. Then he got up and stood next to me to tell me his order. And then I like moved away because he was like touching my shoulder. He's like, oh, you know, a bit of professionalism, buddy. Let's keep it safe. I took a bit of a, try not to make it like too obvious, but I kind of like shuffled away a little bit. And then he like basically just stood on me and like just looked at like just, oh, it was, whoa, yeah. Even my dad and my mum were just like, whoa, it's weird. It's weird. Yeah, it is weird being, so like intimate with other people and not actually being intimate at the same time. You're physically touching them, but like it's just stuffy, but you get used to it. It's nice in a way. Like there's that sort of weird connection you have rather than like this open freedom. It's more of it's a limited, but it's still comforting and nice, when the people are nice and they're not like random horrible people.
So have you been back since you've moved down from?
Not from Korumburra, no. In Bendigo, yes, there was a bit of time in our life where it was my mother, my sister and I, we lived in Bendigo, and our dad managed the properties. He tried to sell them. So we had more than one property, had quite a few up there, just a few floating around. But he managed them. And that was really difficult for us, mainly my mum, because love and romance. But it was different. So we'd go up, we'd just do the drive. It wasn't long, 2 days at the max, really, to drive up. But that is my childhood. That drive, I can tell you like all the places. I remember specific parts of the road. It's so weird, but it's really different driving from climate to climate, like driving from that flat kind of area, dry, grassy, quartzy ground of Bendigo and around Bendigo and surrounds. Then driving into New South Wales, the Mallee region, that's always really different. Driving up to the basin, that was kind of weird as well. Like it's all just so weird to explain. You get far a bit further north to like Opal territory, like a bit further north towards the border, but Opally. And then you get all your bushlands and I think flame trees. It was just all these, and the prickly acacia land. That was really, I even like named prickly acacia land like the child I am. But that's just how I remembered them in the car. Yeah, it was good. You meet the people I met along the way. There's a roadhouse. Well, as a town, two houses, a pub and a roadhouse. That was run by Kiwi Jam. It's called Barrangun. It's in New South Wales, just next to the Queensland border.
Yes.
But it is definitely a real staple memory in my childhood. But it's just so weird. We did go back quite a lot. It happened for a couple of years then and there. And then Dad moved down and had to adapt to Victorian life. Yeah, Victorian life and the big smokes. But it was definitely a moment. Yeah, wow, good question.
Yeah. Do you think the majority of kids at the school or people in general would have really no idea what a remote community looks like?
I don't know. I feel I know people, I know my classmates and my friends, some of them have lived here their entire lives. I think this is their idea of a remote, of remote. And I didn't want to like, sorry to burst your bubble, but I don't know, it's so weird. I showed on my mum's Facebook, I showed my friend, this is where I grew up. And she was like, that's horrible. How could you live there? I was like, wow, okay, it wasn't that bad. But I was just so, I guess for some, I'm sure, sure people, their families would have traveled around and seen, I'm guessing, I think I've heard some word of how shocking some communities are, because it is atrocious, the living conditions of some communities, but there are just, I'm sure there are some of outliers who'll be like, yep, I know what you're talking about. And yes, it is disappointing. There'll be some who'll be like, yeah, but we stayed away. I feel like there'll be some like, no, not really. Sorry. Yeah, it's different. It's just varying, just because, the children, the kids, they all have their own families, their own lives. They're all very different and have different experiences, I guess. Yeah.
If I gave you, I've got a couple of questions left, but one is, if I gave you a platform to talk about any issue that you would be able to change for yourself, for other people, what would it be?
That is a good question. Body image. It would be body image, and I thought that would cover skin color, weight, just everything, the insecurities people feel about their physical body. I feel like that is something that could change a lot. Obviously, I'm guessing racism probably started there. And I feel like that is, people should start being more accepted. People are so horrible. I know there's some boys who are like, oh, you're so fat, like to each other. Whoa, calm down. You're not fat. You're actually really, really fit. Really, really fit. I don't understand how you see that as fat. And, for women, their beauty standards are just so unrealistic. You're going to, some people fat shame my friends. It's like, that's really horrible. Why would you feel the need to do that? That is just stupid and it's horrible. And I feel like it's time to end. Like, so whatever official Pink had a song called So What. Yeah, so you'll be a bit like that. I just feel like, okay, you pointed that out. Why did you point that out? Just get on. Please don't. I just don't understand why it's any of your concern. Yes, I have brown skin. Yes, I like to eat. So I don't exercise. It's still my life. I can sit around and eat tubs of ice cream if I want. I'm still around. I'm not committing war crimes. I'm not, not a horrible person. I'm just eating a tub of ice cream. Yes, I, how to look after your body as well. That could also be a thing. A bit of skincare here and there. It's always fun. I just did my skincare routine this morning. It was quite nice. But I feel like promoting a good body image, a different version of what it means to be healthy, and also in a way that's like not just mental health, but mental fitness, as in like exercising your mind. So run away, epic marathon or brave from the dark places of your mind, I guess, in all the negative urges of your mind. I feel like that's definitely something to avoid. I just feel like I would use it to promote a more general, I guess, positively general body image aspect.
Cool. A couple of other quick questions, like what's your favorite color?
Red. Maroon.
Why?
Queensland.
Oh.
No, that's not why. But I just like it. Nice, deep red color. It's pretty. It does a lot. It goes with a lot. I feel like it works. I just like it. It's just something. It's different. It's new, and it's nice.
Yep. Favorite movie?
Oh, I don't have one. Sorry.
That's all right. Last movie you watched?
It would have been the Avatar: Way of Water with my family a weekend or two ago.
Oh, enjoy it?
It was all right. It was a bit long. 3 hours is a long time for a movie, but it had some really good messages. Those Avatar movies are really, really good. Obviously, but yeah, really, really good.
Favorite book?
Pardon?
Favorite book?
Throne of Glass series. That series is absolute favorite. It's got some assassin chicken. It's really cool. Really good book.
Favorite TV show?
Have you been paying attention on?
Yes.
It's so good. I love it. Absolutely love it. Watch it every night. Oh, every Monday night when it comes out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's repeated about 3 times a week anyway. So if you don't miss it,
yes. No. If we miss it, well, we know we can watch it again. it'll be out. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last one is, what message do you want people to walk away with from our yarn today?
Just go for it. If you're going to be yourself, be yourself. Don't try to be like, I want to be myself, but if I don't try to be like, just be yourself. Just be yourself. I don't know how to say it any other way. Be yourself authentically, respectfully. It means like respect yourself and your boundaries. Just because, your friends might want you to do something, okay, you don't have to do it. And that's obviously like don't jump off a cliff saying whatever it is. But if you're going to be yourself, just own yourself, respect others in a way that respects yourself as well. You don't have to compromise yourself in order to be a better person. You can just be yourself and work. Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful ending. I want to say thanks, Rhys, for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for a good yarn.
Congratulations again on the school captainship.
Thank you.
And we're going to be watching you to see where you go in the future. And would love to bring you back next year. Somewhere while you're traveling, we'll Zoom you in to actually do another podcast. So thanks heaps.
Awesome. No, thank you. It's lovely having a good yarn. Always good to see you around. So yeah, see you around, mate.
So guys, I want to say thank you, and I'll see you guys at the next podcast. Bye.